Alright, this comes from The Replacement by Brenna Yavonoff. This reading's from an arc, so it could be a little different in the final, I don't know. It's a pretty awesome book, so I'd pick it up if I were you. I was in kindergarten the first time my dad told me about Cullen Cowrie. The story was short, and he told it over and over, like Winnie the Pooh or Goodnight Moon. When my dad told it, I could see the important parts like scenes from an old movie, flickering and grainy. Cullen Cowrie would be quiet and polite, a grown-up, maybe in his 30s. He was like me, mostly, except that he had an extra set of joints in his fingers, and I always pictured him in black and white. He ran a music repair shop on Hanover Street, and lived above it in a little kitchenette apartment. He couldn't tune pianos because he couldn't stand to touch the steel wires, but he was honest and fair, and everyone liked him. His specialty was fixing violins. When kids started to go missing, no one thought that much about it. It was the Depression, and no one had enough food or enough money, and kids were always disappearing. They got sick or ran away, or died from accidents or starvation. And that was too bad, but no one really got suspicious or asked that many questions. Then, the sheriff's daughter disappeared. This was in 1931, just before the end of October. Cullen Cowrie had never hurt anyone, but it didn't matter. They came for him anyway. They dragged him out of his little kitchenette apartment and down into the street. They burned out his shop and beat on him with wrenches and pipes. Then they hung him from a tree in the oak grove at the end of Heath Road, with a bag over his head and his hands tied behind his back. They left his body there for a month. The first time my dad told me this, I didn't get what he was trying to say. But by the time I was in 1st or 2nd grade, I was already starting to understand. The moral of the story is, don't attract attention. Don't have deformed fingers. Don't let anyone find out how amazing you are at tuning strings by ear. Don't show anyone the true, honest heart of yourself, or else, when something goes wrong, you might wind up rotting in a tree. Everyone has a point of origin, a place they come from. Some people's places are just simpler than others. I don't remember any of this, but my sister, Emma, swears it's true, and I believe her. This is the story she used to tell me at night, when I would climb out of bed and sneak down the hall to her room. The baby in the crib, crying in that anxious, fussy way. His face is shiny between the bars. The man comes in the window, bony, wearing a black coat, and grabs the baby up. He slips back out over the sill, slides the window down, pops the screen back in, is gone. There's something else in the crib. In the story, Emma's 4 years old. She gets out of bed and pads across the floor in her footy pajamas. When she reaches her hand between the bars, the thing in the crib moves closer. It tries to bite her, and she takes her hand out again, but doesn't back away. They spend all night looking at each other in the dark. In the morning, this thing is still crouched on the lamb and duckling mattress pad, staring at her. It isn't her brother. It's me. The Replacement. Check it out.